Hey, what's going on YouTube? Alabama Reloader here. So, gonna be a quick video checking out the Frankford Arsenal tumbler. This is the light version, and I've got this thing pretty packed down with brass. I just want to kind of show you the process I go through and sort of the capacity that this thing has. So, I've got it set up over here in the corner, and I've added this step into the process. I used to really not clean my brass that much, but it really is the smart thing to do. I mean, if you're running dirty brass up into your dies, you're going to create issues over time. And so to avoid that, I picked this up from a buddy of mine. He was getting rid of it, didn't really have any use for it, so bought it off him for a pretty good deal. And I use their brass cleaning solution. I know there's a million different things you can use to clean your brass. You can make your own mixture or blah blah blah, whatever. You can do all that stuff. That's fine. You can go buy brass juice if you want to be bougie and all that. But I picked up a container of that stuff, pretty cheap, and it's lasted a long time. So I've cleaned a whole lot of brass using that. Still got quite a bit left in the bottle. But what I have in here is, so pretty much what I do, once I decap everything with my Lee Universal Decapping Die, I throw it in here, and this is for small batch processing. So this is not, if you're a bulk reloader and you sort of batch everything and process everything bulk, then this is probably not for you. You need to look for another option. Maybe they're a larger version of this. Because right now, so I've got 100 pieces of 308, 40 pieces of 7 rim mag, and it's like 58 pieces of 270 Winchester, and the thing is pretty full. I mean, you can't see it just because of the foam or whatever, but the brass is pretty much near the top of the drum here, which doesn't leave a whole lot of room for agitation. So that's sort of the capacity level if you want to think about it in terms of how much brass you can pack into this thing. Obviously, if you're going to be cleaning 223, something like that, much smaller, you can fit a lot more in there, right? So just kind of giving you a visualization as a sort of a capacity standpoint. But 300 blackout, 223, that type of stuff, smaller stuff, it's going to be great. You can fit a lot in there. But again, if you're a bulk person and you just process bulk stuff, then probably want to go with the larger version. So what I do after I decap it, throw it in, I throw in some stainless steel pins, which I actually still have the bag. So that's why you never throw anything away, and you just leave everything on your reloading bench. That way you can find what you're looking for. Gun tap, stainless steel tumbling media. He gave it. My buddy, whenever I bought this, he just gave me this bag to go with it. So I was pretty much ready to go right out of the gate on cleaning brass, gun tap. Those are the pins that I've been using. Now, what I like is the styrofoam coolers. I know you could pick those up at Walmart for like $1 back in the day. Don't know what they are now, but it's just a cheap styrofoam cooler. And what's nice about it is the little screen that you use to dump everything in, for the solution to pour through or whatever. That way you can separate everything out and not lose your pins. That's awesome. That retains everything. So I just pour everything in there, and let's check it out here. That had some serious weight to it. So there you go. Check that out. Check out how shiny that brass is. And it's been going for maybe about an hour and a half. I normally tumble my brass an hour and a half. I mean, I don't really have any other, it's not like it's mission critical for me to tumble it as fast as possible and, pull it out and get it dried off and reload and all that. It's, don't really have anything else going on during the day. If I've got this stuff processing, I can just let it run. It's not a problem. So I normally let it go for about an hour, hour and a half. That's typical. And then what I'll do, I'll just take this, lift it up, you know, shake it around a little bit, try to let as many of the stainless steel pins just kind of fall through as possible. And then after that, I mean, some stainless steel pins do get stuck in the brass cases themselves, so you'll need to dump those out before you start throwing this stuff, you know, if you're going to go throw it in a dehydrator to dry it, or however you want to do it after that. I just dump some water on it, rinse all this stuff off, and then throw it on a baking sheet, a pan, and put it in the oven, 170 degrees. I'll just let it sit in there for a couple hours until it's good and dry. So that's really it. That is the cleaning process that I follow. It's about as simple as it gets. You can make it as complicated as you want, but it's done a really good job for me. I mean, this stuff comes out nice and clean. Primer pockets don't really get that clean. That's fine, not a big deal. Really don't care about that because I'm gonna clean them out whenever I process my brass afterwards. So I've started doing this, and it's just, it's good to know that you're running clean brass up inside your resizing dies. That way you don't run into any issues during that process. You don't get any kind of garbage up into your die. So good way to keep your dies clean as well. So, all right, that's it. That's where we're gonna leave it. And yeah, so if you guys are looking for a cleaning option, highly recommend the Frankford Arsenal Tumbler Lite. Now I know there are like 3D printed little jigs and gizmos and stuff that people use to loosen this thing. It's like a big oil filter looking wrench type deal that fits on here and you're able to tighten it and loosen it. I honestly have never had a problem with that. I can tighten it down just fine. It doesn't leak at all. And then I can loosen it up no problem. So really don't know what that's all about. Maybe that's a thing on the larger version, but for this one, I've had zero issues tightening it and loosening it. So that's it. That's where we're going to leave it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you get down to Mr. Big Guns in Huntsville. Tell them I sent you. Tell them I said hello. For anything firearms related, right? Reloading. If you want to build a gun, you just want to buy one off the shelf, used or new. They've got great selection of firearms down there. Handguns, you name it. Really nice stuff too. And so yeah, that's where we're going to leave it. Y'all have a good one. We'll catch you next time.